Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Vedangas. This is Amit, accompanied with my co-partner Sumit. So guys, we are back with a new topic of accountancy, that is double entry bookkeeping system. So before starting the explanation, please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon for latest notification, and also you can check our channel's playlist for the new upcoming videos. So double entry bookkeeping system. So guys, in this video you will learn about the double entry bookkeeping system and also the introduction, the advantages of double entry bookkeeping system and classification of accounts. So coming to the introduction of double entry bookkeeping system, it was first articulated by the Italian merchant Luca Pacioli, the father of accounts, in the year 1494 AD. Through the system of recording the business transaction in a systematic manner has originated in Italy. It was perfected in England and other European countries during the 18th century only. That means after the Industrial Revolution. So as per this, many countries have adopted this system today for the recording of transactions. This system is used for recording all the transaction, all the business transactions. In this, there are numerous transactions which are to be recorded in a business concern. Each transaction reveals two important aspects. One aspect is receiving aspect or incoming aspects, or expenses or loss aspects, we can say that. It is termed as the debit aspect. And the next aspect is giving aspect or outgoing aspects, or also we can say income and gain aspects. It is termed in credit aspects. So these two aspects, namely debit aspects and credit aspect, forms the basis of double entry system. It involves the recording of both of the aspects of transactions in debit and credit. So coming to the advantages of double entry bookkeeping system. So the following are the main advantages of double entry system. That is, under this system, this method, both the aspects of each and every transactions are recorded, so it is possible to keep the complete account. Next is both the aspect of a transaction are recorded. For each debit, there must be a corresponding credit of an equal amount. Therefore, total debit must be equal to total credits. In fact, it is possible to verify the arithmetical accuracy of the book of accounts by asserting whether the two sides becomes equal or not. It should be balanced through a process known as trail balance. And also, under this system, profit and loss account can be prepared easily by taking together all the accounts relating to income or revenue and expenses or losses, and thereby the result of the business can be ascertained. In this, all the profit and loss, expenses and incomes, gains, all the transactions are to be recorded. This is the third advantage of double entry bookkeeping system. And a balance sheet can be prepared by taking together all the accounts relating to assets and liabilities, and thereby the financial position of business can be assessed. Here the asset means an item or of property owned by a person or a company or an organization. It is regarded as having value, some value, that is known as assets, and it is also available to meet the debts, commitments and legacies. So this is about asset. And liability is a thing which someone is responsible, especially an amount of money owed. or we can say the state of being legally responsible for something. So the advantage of next double entry bookkeeping system is all the necessary details about the transaction can be obtained quickly and easily. Through this system, all the required details about the transaction in the business can be known by the user quickly and easily in a systematic manner. And also the total amount owed by debtors and the total amount owed to creditors can be ascertained easily. By this we can know what we received in the business and what we gave outside to the business easily. And also under this system, necessary statistics are easily available so that the management can take appropriate decision and run the business efficiently. Through this system, double entry bookkeeping system, the management of an organization it helps to take the decision, appropriate decision to run the business, how to run the business, because it knows the financial status of the business. So coming to the accounting equation, the all accounting equation is based on dual aspect concept, that is debit and credit. In title, we can say that the title of account, the left side is debit and the right side is credit according to the user. So in this, the accounting equation shows the relationship between the economic resources of a business and the claims against those resources. That is, economic resources is equal to claims. So in another terms, the economic resources is assets and the claim consists of liabilities and the owner claims or equity. So as per the business entity concept, the business is separate from its owner for accounting purpose. Hence, the owner too has a claim on the business. Thus, the simplified accounting equation is shown below, that is, asset is equal to equities, or asset is equal to capital plus liability, and capital is equal to asset minus liability, and liability is equal to asset minus capital. So now coming to the classification of accounts. So in this, the transaction can be divided into three categories, that is, the transaction relating to individuals and firms, and the second one is transaction related to properties, goods or cash, and the third one is transaction relating to expenses or losses and incomes or gain. Therefore, we can say that the accounts is classified into three types, that is, personal account, real account and nominal account. So let's see, in accounts it is classified into two, personal account and impersonal account, and this personal account is classified into two, that is, natural person. Natural person, in this, the account which relates to an individual person, for example, Pawan account and Rohit account, Rahul account, etc. And also artificial person, that is, account which relates to a group of person or firm or institution, not with an individual. It is a group of person, then it is artificial. For example, Infosys Limited, or like banks, Andhra Bank and Life Insurance Corporation, LIC, etc., some clubs, etc. So these are artificial persons. And coming to impersonal account, real and nominal account are the two classifications. So real account is relating to the properties and assets which are owned by the business concern, which includes tangible and intangible account. For example, land, building, machinery, furniture, stock, goodwill, etc., which are necessary to construct a business, to start a business. And as the same, the nominal account These accounts do not have any existence form or shape. It doesn't have any shape. They relate to income and expenses or gain and loss of the business concern. Salary account, for example, salary, commission account or rent account or having some discount, that is discount account, etc. are the example of nominal account. So these account has some several rules. In personal account, the rule of personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. For salary is paying to the employees. That is, the salary should be debited. Salary account data to cash. Salary is paying to employee. Employee is receiver. So receiver should be debited and cash is going out. Cash is going out. And the business is giving to the employer the salary. So the giver should be credited. Next one is real account. The real account rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So what is coming in the business, that should be debited, and what is going out to the business, that should be credited in the real account. For example, the goods purchased for cash. So here goods is coming into the business, so we have to debit the goods account data to what is going out, cash is going out, so cash should be credited, goods account data to cash account. Now coming to nominal account, the nominal account principle is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. So in the business firm, all the expenses and losses should be debited in nominal account and all the incomes and gains should be credited in the account. So for example of nominal account are service revenue, sales revenue, wages expenses, utilities expenses, supplies and interest expenses. So guys, stay tuned for the next upcoming videos of other topics. So thank you for watching the video.